Ever since I got Disney Plus 3 years ago, I've been watching various movies, even ones from Disney and Pixar that I never got to see, never took the time to watch or watch me because I didn't think I would like them. And there was, of course, this one flick I didn't know if I would like or not, but I decided to give it a try, and I rewatched it, and it's not too bad after it's been 15 years since it came out. So here it is. Here's my review of Wally. Bad days, entertainment rankings and reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2008 computer animated sci-fi romance flick Wally, released by Disney and produced by Pixar, directed by Andrew Stanton, produced by Jim Morris, written by Stanton and Jim Reardon. Featuring the voices of Ben Burt, Alyssa Knight, Jeff Garlin, John Ratzenberger, Kathy Najimy, with Sigourney Weaver and Fred Willard. The film follows a solitary robot named Wally, that's Wall-E, on a future uninhabitable deserted Earth in 2805. Left to clean up garbage. He is visited by a robot called Eve, sent from the starship Axiom, with whom he falls in love and pursues across the galaxy. The film was released on June 27, 2008. Hence, today is the film's 15th anniversary. Now, although it premiered 4 days before that at the Greek Theater. After Stanton had recently directed Finding Nemo, which came out 5 years before this, which recently celebrated its anniversary not so long ago. Well, he decided to try and take a crack at it with this one. Now, Wally has minimal dialogue in its early sequences, which that's kind of a slight downside, a bit of a downside for me. Many of the characters in the film don't have voices, but instead communicate with body language and robotic sounds that were designed by Mr. Burt. But anyway, it incorporates various topics with two men and what have you. And it's also Pixar's first animated film with segments featuring live-action characters. Thomas Newman actually returns to the scene to do the score. Of course, after he had recently done the score for Finding Nemo. Anyway, it was still a big success. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the story. In the 22nd century, rampant consumerism, corporate greed, and environmental neglect had turned Earth into a garbage-strewn wasteland, and the megacorporation, by and large, have evacuated humanity to space on giant starliners, leaving trash-compacting robots to clean up the planet. 700 years later, in 2805, the cleanup has failed, and the last remaining active robot, named Waste Allocation Load Lifter Earth Class, or Wally for short, has developed a personality. Wally remains active by salvaging parts from other inactive robots and lives in a large truck designed to carry the robots with a cockroach as a pet. One day, Wally's routine of compressing trash and collecting interesting objects is broken by the arrival of an unmanned probe carrying an egg-shaped robot named Extraterrestrial Vegetation Evaluator, or Eve, who is sent to scan the planet for signs of sustainable life. Wally is smitten by the sleek, otherworldly robot, and the two begin to connect until Eve goes into standby mode when Wally shows her his most recent find, a living seedling. The probe ship eventually returns and collects Eve and the planet, with Wally clinging on. The probe ship then returns to its mothership, the starliner Axiom. In the centuries since the Axiom left Earth, its passengers have degenerated into helpless obesity due to microgravity and laziness, with robots catering to their every whim. Even Captain B. McCree is used to sitting back with his robotic AI autopilot helm, nicknamed Otto, pilots the ship. McCree is unprepared to receive the positive probe response, but discovers that placing the plant in the ship's hull detector will trigger a hyper jump back to Earth so that humanity can begin recolonization. When McCree inspects Eve's storage compartment, the plant is missing, with Eve blaming Wally for its disappearance. Eve is deemed faulty and taken to diagnostics, mistaking the process for torture. Wally intervenes and inadvertently releases all the other faulty bots, causing him and Eve to be designated as rogues. Frustrated, Eve tries to send Wally home in an escape pod, but before she can, the two witness Otto's henchmen go for the plant stowing the plant in a pod to self-destruct, revealing that Wally did not steal the plant. Wally tries retrieving it, but is launched into space. Eve uses an emergency exit to chase after Wally and witnesses the pod explode. Although both he and the plant survive unscathed, he and Eve reconcile, celebrating with a dance in space around the Axiom. Now I'm going to go to the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to sub this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward at the time below. As I count down, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Eve brings the plant back to McCree, who watches her recordings of Earth, concluding that they can and must save it. However, all reveals that it has been programmed with a secret no return directive A113 issued after BNL CEO Shelby Forthright inaccurately said Earth could not be saved. Although had ordered go forward to dispose of the plant, when McCree countermands the directive, Otto and go for mutiny, electrocuting Wally, forcefully putting Eve into standby, throwing them both down a garbage chute, and looking McCree in his quarters. Locking, Sorry, my mistake. Locking McCree is heck in his quarters. Eve, having been reactivated by a mouse-like robot, and Wally are nearly ejected into space with the ship's refuse. Well, but Microbe Obliterator, or Mo, a clean robot who had been following Wally's dirt trail across the ship, saves the two when he gets stuck when the gates closes, prompting the waste allocation load lifter Axiom class Wall-A, Wall-A, garbage bots to abort the ejection. As humans and robots help in securing the planet, McCree and Otto fight for control of the Axiom. Otto crushes Wally using the hull detector in a last-ditch attempt to keep the human passengers in space. McCree eventually overpowers and deactivates Otto by switching it to manual mode, and Eve successfully inserts the plant, initiating the hyperjump. Arriving back on Earth, Eve quickly repairs Wally, but finds that his memory and personality have been erased. Heartbroken, Eve gives Wally a goodbye kiss, which restores him to his normal self. Wally and Eve reunite as the Axiom inhabitants take their first steps on Earth. Humans and robots turn the ravaged planet into a paradise, and the planet grows into a mighty tree which Eve and Wally rest beneath. End of story. So what did I think of Wally? Well, though I've only seen it twice, I will say it's not too bad and what have you. My only bit of a nitpick I have, or should I say a negative, is just not much, dialogue in its early sequences. But however, no, though critics had praise had critical acclaim for this, but for everything else, scenes of romance, screenplay and sound design, score from Thomas Newman, visuals, the characters, voice actors we heard, the story and the animation, yeah, I agree with them. Now, Ben Burtt provides Wally's vocal effects. He does very, very good. Now, I will say, as he collects trinkets and what have you, from the garbage, he displays them at his home, and he watches a video cassette of the film Hello, Dolly, which I've never seen that film, but I've heard of it, though. He mimics the dance sequences. Alyssa Knight voices Eve. Very good character. Jeff Garland, who I knew that is, voices Captain McCree. He's very good. Let's see. John Ratzenberger and Kathy Najimy voice the characters John and Mary, who live on the Axioms, so dependent on their automatic services to be oblivious to their surroundings. Sigourney Weaver voices the Axiom's computer. Really something. And Fred Willard appears, well, as one of the live action characters, Shelby Forthright. So anyway, yeah. So the cast isn't too bad. And I agree. Thomas Newman's score was very good, as a matter of fact. Anyway, the film did very well. It went on to make 532 million worldwide, and became the third best opening weekend for a Pixar film after Finding Nemo's and The Incredibles, and became the second best opening weekend among films released in June, behind Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban, which opened 4 years before. Anyway, really something. A couple of years ago, the film became the second Pixar film after Toy Story to be selected for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. And last September, at the request of Stanton, Disney licensed Wally to the Criterion Collection, who re-released the film as a special edition 4K Blu-ray standard Blu-ray combo pack last November, marking the first Pixar film to ever receive such an honor. Now, Rotten Tomatoes has this at 95% and what have you. And they say that the film's stellar visuals testify once again to Pixar's ingenuity, while its charming star will captivate younger viewers, and its timely story offers thought-provoking subtext. I completely agree on what have you. While I'm gonna have to come out and be honest. The minimal audio, it's just a slight negative, not an ultimate negative. Yeah, I kind of made an error on that, so I apologize for that. But I'm still understanding, though, with the critics being, well, liking that and what have you. But anyway, it is pretty good and what have you. Now, I think, well, it may not be in the top 5, but this could be one of my top 10 favorite Pixar films of all time. I haven't really gotten the chance to, rank all the Pixar films together, but, well, it could happen. I can guarantee you, I think Wally will get a place in the top 10. Well, I think Wally is definitely a very good film and what have you, despite I was just a wee bit negative on the minimum dialogue in the early footage, but it's not 110% of a negative, though. No. Just a slight negative, and it doesn't really deduct much points, though, so no problem. So anyway, I think with a pretty good set of characters, a great story, great animation. Yes, I like the animation. I like the environment around and what have you, and with it taking place in space. I'm just going to say that it has just everything you could get from any other Disney Pixar film, and a great score from Thomas Newman. With everything said, overall, would I recommend Wally? I would say definitely yes. Go for it. Wally is definitely a good film. I think this, again, mind you, this could possibly be a top 10 pick for me. We'll see. But anyway, what did you think of Wally? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Dr. Dolittle 2. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for some of these other Disney Pixar films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review on one of their recent films, and that's Lightyear from last year, which I know a lot of people didn't like and what have you, and I know it didn't do too well, but please bear with me, okay? Or if you would like, go to the upper right hand corner and see my review of a film that would had recently celebrated its anniversary not so long ago, its 10th anniversary, and that would be Monsters University. Or if you'd like, go to the bottom left hand corner and see my spoiler free review of another Disney Pixar film that has a little romance in it, and that's their new flick, Elemental. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.